Hello, welcome to the 5th Annual Early Math Symposium, and special thanks to the Ames Center for Math and Science Education and California First Five for their generous support, which has made today's symposium possible. I'm Carolyn Pfister, one of the Early Math Project team members. I'm joined by Paul Reimer, the Executive Director of the Ames Center for Math and Science Education in Fresno. Hello, Paul.
Hi, Carolyn. I'm thrilled about this meaningful and inspirational day of learning together. Those of you who have joined us for prior symposiums know that we survey participants and ask for feedback and recommendations. We do listen and hope that you'll see your comments reflected in the presenters and topics we're sharing today. Thank you for joining us.
I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude for Matilda Soria, Lupe Jaime, John Dueck, Judy Sias, Deborah Brown, Brooks Allen, Kim Leahy, and Karen Staff Walters for their support of early math and this symposium. I'd also like to acknowledge the dedication of my colleagues from the Early Math Project, the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools, Grace Bauer of Red Dog Records, who is live casting today's event, West Ed, the Ames Center for Math and Science Education, California First Five, and our I'm Ready video partners, Les Mayfield and Bill Russ. State Board of Education member Patricia Rucker, who you will be hearing from later and who has championed this symposium from the start, also deserves a special thank you. This year's symposium is dedicated to the memory of Andrew Bauer, a remarkable partner and friend of the Early Math Symposium, who is greatly missed by us all. It is my pleasure to introduce you to State Board of Education member Patricia Rucker. Those of us who have the pleasure of working with Patricia are inspired by her commitment to children, teachers, and education. Thank you so much, Patricia, for beginning our day.
Thank you so much for that gracious introduction. On behalf of my colleagues on the State Board of Education, I want to welcome all of you and thank you for your participation in today's conference. At the end of the day, you will certainly want to thank all of the amazing people in the California Department of Education and education staff across the state of California who had a hand in creating today's virtual experience. As a classroom teacher, I often dreamed of bringing the world into my work and into my classroom. I'm seeing those visions realized today because this conference includes educators from around the world. Welcome to you who are joining us from Canada, the Dominican Republic, Trinidad and Tobago, Australia, South Africa, and even China, and a host of other countries I can't even begin to list because I don't have the time. I also want to welcome all the educators from across the United States. I'm excited to see educators from all 50 states joining us today as well. Let me turn to the theme of the day, maintaining mathematical momentum. Children's mathematical momentum begins from birth and continues through all the child-initiated play and talking and thinking that we watch. It's supported by the development of mastery orientation, of skills and dispositions like counting that we all practice with them before they start school. It is this combination of play and talk and critical thinking that adults and namely parents and teachers need to observe and understand and use to inform children's next steps and support their progress as mathematical learners. So here we are at the close of what's been a very dramatic and traumatic year, not just for our schools and our students, but for the world. This conference comes at a time when schools in California are closing for the year, and we're pausing to take a break. Let's take that pause. Educators know immediately after that pause, we start thinking about the new year. The start of the new year gives new meaning to the idea of starting over and starting fresh. And in the math community and learning community we have here today, it also means understanding a return to and hoping for the norms of another year of homework routines, and a nightly battle of will between students and their parents as they figure out how to complete that evening's homework assignment. For quite some time, educators have been focused on the instructional shifts for teaching math. If I knew now, if I knew then as a classroom teacher what I know now, I know I would be a much better teacher for my students. But the instructional shifts are simply about the science of teaching math. You need a big explosion like those instructional shifts to make a change in math thinking about math instruction. But the art of math teaching is about those teeny moves forward that make a lasting difference. Today is about the practices that build those teeny moves and maintain the community's momentum. So today's interactive sessions that you'll have the opportunity to choose from will allow you to learn and play and interact with an international audience of your peers. The breakout sessions and speakers will help you understand how to think about children's mathematical development from birth to age 6 and beyond, how to explore and maintain that mathematical momentum, especially now, and how to unpick a student's mathematical development as it relates to creative and critical thinking and mastery orientation. So let me offer you 4 tips about how to get the best out of what you will experience today. First of all, do something as a math learner every day. Today we will make that easy for you. You're going to get a chance to choose sessions from presenters like Dr. Megan Franke, as she speaks about supporting the mathematical brilliance of young people. Every time I hear a presentation from Dr. Franke, I learn something more as a math teacher and something new as a math learner. You'll also have the option to hear from Dr. Jo Boler. Her presentation on Limitless Mind, to learn, to lead, and live without barriers. Dr. Boler is part of the writing team that's currently advising California in the development of the state's new math framework. You also will have a chance to hear from Stuart Murphy as he speaks about social emotional skills and successful math learners. My second tip is that find ways to celebrate progress every day. You'll have a chance to look at sessions from Brooke Williams and Scott Nielsen, and they're going to ask you the important question, do you remember how to count? You'll have a chance to listen in on Bev Ford and Eileen Rizzo as they share STEM stories with bricks. We have a chance for you to look at and explore the Exploratorium and Storytime and Thinking, the Discovery Source, and Tracy Johnson will give you ideas for all in the family math experiences for the daily life of infants and toddlers. My third tip is to focus on the smaller number. This smaller number is about how you personalize and differentiate your instruction. A key small number in classrooms across California is the small number of African American students, particularly boys, who are actually demonstrating success as math learners. You're going to have a chance to hear from Dr. Brian Wright as he talks about creating safe learning environments for Black boys in the early grades. Dr. Matilda Soria and Barbara Daniel are also joining us today for a session in engaging families in early math explorations at home, school, and beyond. And finally, keep a did it list. On a list of your accomplishments, not only as a math teacher, but as a math learner, and encourage your students to do the same. As you can see from these remarks, I am very excited today about today's conference and the learning community that is existing with us around the world. I'm going to close now, but I won't do so before again welcoming you to the world and to my classroom. I want to acknowledge the generous support also of our sponsors, the Ames Center for Math and Science Education, as well as First 5 California. Thank you very much and have a wonderful conference today.
Many of the resources shared today are the result of the work led by the Office of the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools as part of the California Early Math Initiative. Under Jim Yovino's leadership, the Fresno Lighthouse for Children Child Development Center continues to be a shining example of what childcare and preschool can be. We are so appreciative of Jim's vision. I am pleased to introduce the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools, Jim Yovino, who joins us to welcome you to today's symposium.
Well, welcome to the 2021 Early Math Symposium entitled Maintaining Mathematical Momentum. As the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools, our office is excited to partner with the California Early Math Project on this virtual convening. I'd also like to acknowledge the California Department of Education, the State Board of Education, and all of the community partners who have made this possible. As we all know, more than 50% of California's children at every grade level are not achieving the state mathematics standards. And California achievement data clearly demonstrates that elementary, middle, and high school students are not acquiring even the basic mathematical foundation needed for college and career success. This is why the focus on early math is so important. As the County Superintendent of Schools here in Fresno, our office has been committed to particularly around the idea of early care and education, preschool and preterm birth. And when I say preterm birth, what I mean by that is if we really want to have an impact on the children in our schools, we need to have healthy moms and healthy babies. Our office is committed to working with our moms, our pregnant moms in Fresno County to ensure that they're getting the proper prenatal care that they need. I'd like to just end by saying this. We all know the saying from our first 5 partners in Fresno, not in Fresno County, but across California about talk, read, sing. Well, we can't forget to count. And it's so important that our moms and our families engage our children early in using numbers and counting to them at a very early age, even in the womb. I want to say this in closing. I hope you enjoy the symposium. I know it's going to be fantastic, but more than that, continue to be a voice for all the children of California and the children of the world. God bless and take care.
Please welcome Dr. Michelle Cantwell-Copher, Administrator for Educational Leadership and Development for the Office of the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools. Before Dr. Copher begins, I would like to thank her for all of the logistical support she has provided for today's symposium. Our event would not have taken place without her assistance. Thank you, and welcome, Michelle.
Good morning, and welcome to the 2021 Early Math Symposium entitled Maintaining Mathematical Momentum. My name is Dr. Michelle Copher, and I'm pleased to work with the talented educators in the Early Care and Education Department here at the Office of the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools. Focusing on mathematics as early as infancy, is so important. Mathematics plays a significant role in a child's development and helps children make sense of the world around them. It provides vital life skills, including helping children problem solve, measure, and develop their own spatial awareness, and how to use and understand shapes. It is also an important pathway to equity. FCSS is a proud partner of the California Early Math Project. We are currently partnering together to implement the California statewide Early Math Initiative, along with the Ames Center on Math and Science Education and West Ed. Some of the components of our initiative will be featured throughout the symposium. The ultimate goal of this initiative is to decrease the achievement gap in mathematics by developing professional learning and coaching and educational materials and resources for early care and education professionals that serve children birth through 3rd grade. My sincere thanks to the organizers of this conference and the sponsors who together have designed a thoughtful professional development experience for all of us. Have a wonderful day.
The past year has been challenging. I'm not going to say anything that minimizes the loss and struggles many of us have experienced, nor will I dwell on them. I do want to express my thanks to all of you who have chosen to educate children and hope that today's keynotes and breakout sessions will be of benefit as children return to our classrooms in the coming months. Education is remarkably important work. Teachers are doing heroic work. This has been a year of great adaptation and resourcefulness. We've come a long way. Several weeks ago, the incredible effort, spirit, and ingenuity of our teachers was brought home to me. I received an invitation to attend a virtual after-hours celebration of Euclid's birthday from a teacher in San Francisco. I was intrigued and signed up for what was advertised as an hour of math, fun, and games. In reality, the celebration turned out to be something far different and infinitely more inspiring. A group of educators from California and abroad spent the evening sharing the virtual tools they were using to make math more engaging for students. They navigated their way to different sites on the internet, tried out tools, and talked about how they could be used. Their conversations centered on approaches and ideas for encouraging student engagement, interest, and success. I was impressed by their dedication and enthusiasm as they sought new ways to enhance their virtual teaching spaces and connect with students. They were rethinking approaches, leveraging technology, and finding new ways to build community. Over the weeks, I've reflected on that gathering of teachers often. I'll say again, we've come a long way. You are heroic and an inspiration. Thank you. Before we dive into the content of this symposium, I'd like to offer a personal perspective about STEAM: science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. This has been reinforced on a daily basis throughout 2020 and 2021. STEAM has helped us as a society move forward through difficult challenges. STEAM is critical to our understanding, our ability to interact with the world, our hope, our resiliency, and our enjoyment. STEAM contributes to our success and mental well-being by helping us make sense of what is happening around us. It allows us to weigh our options, make evidence-based, reasoned decisions, and provides a way to appreciate the beauty of the world around us. It entertains us. It is a source of wonder. This is perhaps doubly true for young children as they explore, discover, play, and look for ways to make sense of their world. They make connections by looking for similarities and start to figure out what to expect from the world based upon their observations. In my opinion, this makes STEAM more important than ever. STEAM needs to be a part of our focus and our work with children as we move forward. Thank you for joining us today. We will be sharing many free resources and ideas with you today. Please reach out if we can be of support or if you have questions. We appreciate hearing from you.
At Ames, we are committed to the inclusion of all people as important contributors, vital participants, and capable learners of mathematics and science. This recent year has made more visible the barriers and challenges that early educators face in seeing themselves as math and science educators. To counter these narratives, we've been working to build collaborative partnerships where a human-centered, playful approach can empower educators to grow as both learners and teachers of STEAM. Play and playful approaches to mathematics and science can help us redefine what STEAM is and who participates in it. These approaches broaden notions of participation in STEAM and what it means to be a STEAM person. At Ames, we recently had the opportunity to explore weaving with a group of Head Start educators. What started with a professional learning session moved into explorations in yarn and paper weaving with children. One participant engaged her elderly mother in a paper weaving project that resulted in beautifully complex designs and creative joy. Opportunities like these for intergenerational play are critical and empowering examples of human-centered STEAM learning that crosses boundaries and opens possibilities. We hope that you experience such an opening today.